You guys, welcome to Season 3, Episode number 2 of the Derby Crowd Live. And to start off this episode, we are in the summer window, funny enough. You guys, welcome to Season 3, Episode number 2 of the Derby Crowd Live. And to start off this episode, we have made a couple of signings in the last episode. Technically 4 if you add our pre-contract signings such as Hendrick and Emerson, and Sportiello and Adams. So we got 2 players from England and 2 players from Italy. I think it's looking like a very good squad indeed. Dunker's actually grown a rating in between the 2 episodes, so that's good to see. He was absolutely fantastic last season, and probably wasn't going to replace him anyway. Just looking at what we need, though, I'm trying to think what's really standing out that we need to improve, and I'm not 100% sure what it is. I can't really put my finger on anything, because Che Adams is probably going to be 80 rated by the time we get to January, with a bit of training and, of course, playing most of the games. Centre mid, perfectly fine. Centre attacking mid, we've got Vidra and Ciceretti. I'm thinking of playing Ciceretti on the right hand side and playing Lawrence and Ibe off the bench just because he is 3 ratings higher than both of them, and we do kind of need to get the best out of him. But yeah, centre back, I'm pretty happy with. Maybe a centre back, but the problem is if we did that, then it'd mean Rawson or Palmer Brown basically dropping out. At the moment, I kind of want to keep 4 centre backs because then you got two sets basically. We've got the young set and we've got the experience set in the first team. So I don't really know what we need to sign. In between the 2 episodes, I did get some suggestions from you guys. I think the main one that stood out in my opinion was probably Jackson Irvine. I'm going to wait for his scout report to come back. Also, we had a couple of strikers suggested. The problem is with them, they do have release clauses. Martinez of 14 million, which isn't too expensive. It's not bad of a price. And I don't even want to try and die. We'll call him in die. He's got a £26 million release clause. So, going to wait to see, obviously, all 3 of these to see what kind of rating they do have. Jackson Irvine is quite versatile. Whether we need another central midfielder, I'm not 100% sure because we have got Thorne, Hansen, Hendrick, and Hughes, and Callum Guy. So it's basically 5 filling 2 spaces. So not exactly 100% needed at the moment, but maybe if we get a good bid in for one of them, like we did in the last episode for Hughes, who I'm probably not going to sell. I don't know who would I even sell out of Hansen, Hendrick. I can't sell Hendrick, so it's between Thorne and Hansen, and I don't really want to sell either of them. So it's one of them where we're probably going to leave the squad how it is for the time being. I'll see how we do in this game against City, and I think we've got someone a little bit more realistic to play against in the next game against Watford. There we go, Watford newly promoted. That'll be a good way of seeing how the team are performing. Then Chelsea to finish off the year, so the month, sorry, the year, not quite there yet, Luke. But I think if we can nick a point in this first game against Manchester City, then that'd be absolutely fantastic. We don't actually have any. We can send the scout out if we want to do that. I'm not really that bothered because if you look at our objectives, we've already hit one of them by signing 3 to the first team. The other one is grow 2 youth academy players by 10 overall ratings. Now, I don't know if we can use those 3 players that I've just signed up, grow them by 10, and that counts as youth academy players being grown by 10. Or do they have to stay in the youth academy, grown by 10, then bring them into the first team and play those 5 matches? I'm not 100% sure, but at the same time, I'm not that bothered, so I might just risk it and do the players that we've already got and not have to spend any money on scouting players. So there aren't really that many objectives. I think it's quite an easy season for us. We should be able to do quite nicely. I think we'll give it a couple of games. If I'm feeling we need to maybe get a new right back, maybe get a new striker, because Che Adams not quite doing it. But it's difficult to judge this early on when we haven't played any games yet, because it's a very different looking team. Obviously Hendrick will go in for Thorne eventually. So I feel like there's no standout weakness. That's what I'm trying to say in this intro, but it's kind of difficult to explain. But I think we're all good at the moment. I don't think we need to make any signs yet, but by the end of the episode, I may look at the loan options, because it's kind of crazy how the AI can loan in all these fantastic players, but we can't do it. It's a little bit frustrating. Maybe if we look at the Championship, I think Huddersfield is still down there. Maybe we bring in Tom Ince, I think. Yeah, there he is. So if we maybe look at Tom Ince, we could maybe bring him in. He has only got 12 months. Ooh. could we get him on the cheap side? So they're going to take some time to consider the offer. We did put in 5.8. They're probably going to come back and say they want that 7-ish mil, which we can't afford. So it's good to know. I do really like Tommins on this game. The problem is we have signed so many players back to the club. If you look at the team, obviously we brought back Hughes, we brought back Hendrick, we've brought back... who else have we brought back? Seswan Cambo, Jordan Ibe, technically we brought back. Obviously he was only a loan, but still bringing him back to the club. And there was one other, I think. Maybe we sold him already. I'm trying to remember. We did kind of bring Joe Ledley in, but he was already our player. But I feel like maybe going in a different direction. I just don't know what we need. In fairness, I don't think we do need Tommins, because we've got Lukman and Bennett here, who are both very young. Lukman at 21, Bennett probably 23, yeah. Both of those could outgrow Tommins by the end of the season if we get the growth needed. Also, another thing with Lukman, we get to January, his loan ends. We just loan him back. It's as simple as that. It's not really the end of the world if that does end, and maybe we want that wage to get somebody else. Some big deals going down then. Icardi to Barcelona for just under 90 million. Lanzini to Bayern Munich for 63 million. He is actually like 84 rated in fairness, but would he realistically go to Bayern Munich in real life? Probably not. And Belotti to Liverpool for 62 million. A deal that may happen. I could see that happening pretty darn soon. So we're going to go into our first game of the season at the Etihad against Manchester City. A great way to test the team, and it's kind of like there's a no loss kind of situation. Is that? That's Cresswell, isn't it? From West Ham. What's he doing at Manchester City? Not 100% sure, but I think we will go with this lineup. There's no real need to change it. I may pop... I might just leave it how it is, to be honest. I think we're perfectly fine how we are. I was just wondering whether we leave Callum Wright on the bench or not, but if we're getting thrashed like 5-0, we may as well get him some game time. Here we are then at the Etihad. We're going to have to skip these intros, but it seems like Manchester City have spent a bit of money on some new signings, so interested to see what their lineup is looking like. They've gone for a 5-3-2. They've got Aaron Cresswell at left wing back. Very interesting indeed. I really don't understand that. They've got Mendy at the club. They bought Kazawa. They've got Mendy and Kazawa, and then they go, let's get Aaron Cresswell. That's the way we want to go. Also got Eric Dyer in that defence, as you can see, next to Eliquium Mangala. Walker at right back. Douglas Luiz, I'm not 100% sure who he is. Delph, Fernandinho, Jesus, and Coyote. I think Coyote is a youth player, but by the time of this game, he's probably in his 80 rated, so it's going to be a tough game. We did actually manage to get a draw against Manchester City last season. I think it was the first points we got in the Premier League against Manchester City at the Etihad, so hopefully that luck can strike twice on the attack here then early on. Adams into Ciceretti. He's on that right-hand side, so he can cut inside Messi-esque style. He has cut past the defender nicely with the shot out wide. Gone out for a goal kick, but good to see we get an early chance there. Ciceretti is he's got a very good low centre of gravity. I could see him doing quite a nice bit of business on that right-hand side. Simon obviously more naturally a left-sided player, so in fairness it probably makes more sense. And I feel like Lawrence just didn't contribute enough last season. Chance here though for Ciceretti. He's been taken down by Stones. We've got a penalty in the first 5 minutes. John Stones taking out Ciceretti. The question is, do we give it Ciceretti? Because he did win it, but we did that last season with Jerry. And Vidra's normally our penalty taker, so I'm just going to have a look what his penalty stat is. You see 63 is a little bit too low, so I think we will leave it with Vidra. I don't think he's actually missed a penalty yet, so we'll go to this left-hand side. And the keeper has saved it. A little bit frustrated. I don't know if the keeper can actually see, like, because I held it to that left so long, I don't know if the keeper can actually see that I'm looking that way, and he knows I'm going to dive that way, so maybe moving the arrow will make more sense. I don't know if that's a new factor on FIFA 18. Chance here for City. He's gone in behind to Carl Walker. He's got the ball across the box with the finish from Fernandinho to make it 1-0. He has been pretty end-to-end stuff in the first 22 minutes of this game, but Manchester City break the deadlock and make it 1-0. A little bit of a shame, because I felt like that penalty, it was a golden opportunity for us to get into the lead. Emerson, he is a little bit thin. I don't know if you know what I mean, but like basically when you look at him, he doesn't look like a defender. Like, you look at Wisdom on this right-hand side, he's quite bulky. Obviously, Wisdom is a very stocky player, so in fairness, maybe compared to Max Lowe, Emerson is alright, but it's gone through here for Coyote, but Sportiello with the save. Chance here for City then early on in the second half. They have just subbed off Douglas Luiz for Kevin De Bruyne. Looks like they do need a bit more attacking presence. Gone into Jesus, now across and in the back of the net. How is Fernandinho onside there? I'm not 100% sure. Is he onside? I thought he was offside. That's why I kind of didn't react when he went. He got the shot off there. I'm not 100% sure if he's onside there. I'll have a look on the replay. It was really quick passing play from City. Ball inside to Jesus. He just cuts past the man. I think it was Emerson. Emerson just kept him on there at the top of the screen. A little bit of a shame. Captain on the score sheet for the second time today. He seems to be in the right place at the right time. And he's actually quite old now. Like he's 32, I think, in real life. Maybe 33. So he's probably at least 35 or 36 in this career mode, because we're a good 3 seasons in now. So we do need to reply quite quickly. Chance here to get it through for Vidro. Blocked by the defender. Really do need a goal pretty soon if we are going to get anything from this game. Chance here for Jerry. Gone through and it's a goal. Literally just come off the bench. I subbed him on. We've got the goal. Literally his first touch from the Nigerian. He's found the back of the net. He's obviously decent corner. Well, it wasn't a decent corner. Fernandinho making a mistake led to that goal. We maybe got ourselves back into this. I don't want to talk too soon, because Manchester City with very good attack can change it just like that and bring on Sergio Aguero. It's like the second it gets, ooh, maybe we'll lose this game, let's just chuck on another really good player. They did sub on De Bruyne just before their second goal, sorry. So it is kind of crazy how good their team is, but maybe it's the little chance we need to get back into it. Like to Ciceretti. Maybe if we can get one last attack. It's gone into the box. Jordan Ibe on the end of it with the header. How has Emerson saved that? He's been absolutely fantastic. I kind of want to do a scout report on Emerson. You can actually do I don't know if you can still do it. You can basically look at what rating players are as long as they are in the first 11. Jesus here through. Good save from Sportiello at the near post. But there's a way of doing it without him scouting. I just want to know how good he is, because he's made a good 10, maybe 11 saves. Pretty much last attack here. Kerr's got the ball through for Ciceretti. Hasn't exactly got the acceleration, but hopefully he's got the composure to find the back of the net and to equalise in the last minute of the game. The Italian on the right hand side. I was going to sub him off for Tom Lawrence. Kept him on. Took off the main man, Vidra. We did stick it on all-out attack. That's why Kerr's all the way up the pitch there. Really nice finesse shot from the Italian to find the back of the net and to hopefully nick a point against Manchester City. I think I'm really liking this attack. Didn't 100% work with Vidra and Adams, but it's one of them. Maybe we stick somebody else at the cam position, like Tom Lawrence, play him with Adams, and that'll work. It's one of them where certain players work with each other more than others. Ball's gone into the box though. Sportiello having to punch. There it is, full time against Manchester City. The first game of the season at the Etihad. We have nicked a point. I think it's a fair result. Manchester City weren't amazing, that's for sure. If you look at the stats, we had 12 shots on target. Obviously that means Emerson made 12 saves, 13 saves. Kind of shows how great he is. Our keeper only made 4 saves from the 6 shots that Manchester City did make. Kerr, on his return after 9 months out with cruciate ligament damage, back with man of the match. That's good to see. Goals from Ciceretti and Jerry coming off the bench, of course. Maybe it was just the team. I think Adams is actually a really nice player. Just didn't quite click against such a good 5 at the back team as well at Manchester City. Into the next game then against Watford at Vicarage Road. Now because it's really stupid, like because we haven't played the game in hand, our manager ratings just dropped by 10. Obviously doesn't really matter too much because we probably will win this next game against Watford. I'm going to actually use, I can't really use that kit against their yellow kit, can I, Luke? I don't see why can't we use that? Here we are then against Watford at Vicarage Road. It looks like Aurelio Gomez is still in goal for them. And he is. He must be at least 39 or 40 now. He must be crazy old at this point. But they have got a very good team. For saying they got relegated and they are back into the Premier League, there's no doubt like why. there's no amazement that they managed to get from the Championship to the Premier League with that kind of side. They got Gomez in goal, Pacini at right back, Prodolin at Shawcross, Monreal at left back, Sahin and Shalabar, Felipe Anderson Pereira, Richarlison, and Sturridge up front. It's actually a really good team when you break it down. There are a few players at the end of their careers, but there's that front three, him beyond the striker. They're probably all over 85 rated, in fairness, by this point. So it's going to be a very interesting game, because even though we managed to take a point against Manchester City, I could see this game being a little bit tougher. Watford, a very good team, and they are at home. Chance here for Watford to end off the first half with the volley and with the goal. I think that's Richarlison with the goal. Literally out of nothing, they punt the ball to the edge of the box, and the Brazilian, with a fantastic volley in fairness, does find the back of the net. Sturridge on the left hand side here. Big space in the middle there. Dunk could have done tucking in, but could Sport Yellow done a bit better? It was a very good volley. There's no, no, I don't think it. I think it curled in basically. With the outside of the boot, the Brazilian has found the back of the net on the half-time mark. Pretty much against the run of play. We've probably had the better fair share of chances, but Watford are more clinical. Chance here for Pacini to get a ball into the box. It's blocked by Dunk. It's now with Cleverly, with the shot, with the goal, and Watford have taken the 3 points. Very counter-attacking football from Watford. We've probably had the better chances, but not executed them. And Tom Cleverly, just like he did against Arsenal, actually came off the bench, I think, and got the late goal to win the game. I think it's game over now. I doubt we're going to be able to get 2 goals, but I think we do need to think about changing the first 11, especially in the attacking areas, because we've kind of struggled in the first half and then pulled it back. Tom Lawrence at the cam position is quite an interesting option, and maybe tempted to look at from the start, because then we can bring Vidra off the bench with a bit more pace. There it is, full time against Watford at Vicarage Road. We managed to pick a point up against Manchester City, but we've lost against Watford. Gomez in goal again, very good. If you look at the saves, he did make 8. Clearly was very good. We only had 5 shots in fairness, so I don't know how he managed to save 8. So he's done a decent job, and maybe Watford did deserve it. They had more possession, more shots. But we had really good chances, but we just didn't do anything with them. So after losing that game, we're just above the relegation zone, so that's not looking too good. Player injured, Che Adams out for 3 weeks with a sprained knee. A little bit of a shame. Obviously we're going to have to, I don't know, what do we do? Because what we've got is Martin and Bennett. Bennett's probably very similar-ish. Obviously not as good as Adams, but still decent. So what do you guys think we need to sign? We've got 1 more episode left in this summer window. We've got about 6 million to spend on a player. I'm not 100% sure who that player is going to be, though. Probably a striker. I think that's the thing I feel we kind of need. I think if we can get Chris Wood in a deal with Chris Martin, plus the 6 mil, that'd be great. That'd be the ideal. Whether that works or not, we'll have to wait and see. I do kind of need that big, bulky striker from the start of the game. Then we've got players to come off the bench if need be. So, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. Managed to get a point against Manchester City. No real transfer business, but it gives you guys the opportunity to review the squad that we have at the moment, see how we did in the games. And, yeah, I feel like a big striker. I'm not... How tall is this guy? 5'8", so no. He's not quite tall enough. So, yeah, I'm looking for maybe Tanny... I'm a bit reluctant to bring him on a loan because it feels like quite an easy thing to do. I'm sure a lot of people have done it on career mode. What do you guys think? Do you think... I will try and get Chris Wood in the deal with the money and Chris Martin, but we'll have to wait and see. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. Leave some comments down below on any players that you want me to sign. I've got 1 good player left to sign. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. Leave a like if you did enjoy it, and see you soon. Bye.